all right. Like I said, we was gonna get into the hip hop culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about this Diddy, Cassie, etc., 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 etc.
Diddy
allegation?
got a lot of dots. You just say Diddy dot 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 because yo,
Hey, it started off. We thought it was 30 pages. It was actually 60 pages worth of allegations in that lawsuit, but it was
oh,
reduced down to 30.
I mean, first off, anymore legally, they fluffed up everything just to see what sticks. They'll throw things at the wall, and when they're going through litigation, they'll see what the prosecution is willing to kind of whittle it down to. Because some things are a duplication when it comes to law. Like if you do this, this means the same thing, but the charge might look like this. So they'll take that, and that's why I reduced down to 30 from the 60 or whatever. But here's my issue. What took you so long? I mean, I get it, trauma, but you could have did this when you got out the first time. Unless you were still messing with this man after you had technically got away and you're still dealing with somebody else, but you went back to Diddy. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that can be speculated from there to say, okay, well, now I'm really done with you, or I severed, or he said something I didn't like, so now I'm going to file this paperwork and just give him a hard time with this now. And I think that, again, it's entertainment. It's she was done with him. What are you coming back for now? You know, you got out, you were living your life. Is the money worth it? Like you that hard up to now want to do that? And in some ways, and it sounds terrible, but are you trying to use the courts to solicit payment now? Are you trying to use that to now extort him, because we use the court for means of extortion for things that you can get paid for because it's emotional damage or whatever. I find cause with that. But outside of that lawsuit, all the stuff that's come to light, I mean, geez. Because, I mean, it's been known for decades that Puff and Mary used to do coke all the time together. Yeah, I mean, that was an industry thing. They knew she was on drugs. Like, Mary made some of her best music high. Terrible. But her and Puff would just ride around New York doing coke. So, I mean, there's that. Now, him as the rump wrangler, Diddy's always been a little soft. I mean, take that. Bad boy baby. I'm trying to think where this came from now.
So let me address the first thing that you said. I don't think that a person who has been victimized on a level that Cassie has claimed to have been victimized should be given a time limit, because you are broken down to nothing to even experience and stay in abusive situations, to have to succumb to a situation like that, especially over somebody that is rich and powerful, who holds your career and over your head. She was a teenager with not much life experience beforehand. She's been kicked in the face. She's been sex trafficked. Now, this dude is blowing up cars.
Yeah.
And allegedly, and this is all allegedly. Everything
it's all allegedly.
said on this podcast is allegedly.
Yeah, it's allegedly. Let's allegedly.
Allegedly blowing up cars, allegedly offing people. Imagine the threats that this man has made. Imagine the things that she has witnessed him do. Allegedly slapping his own mama in the face. You got to get over the psychological damage And that is not healed just because you've left an environment.
Well, let me say this just briefly though. For the women who have dated actual mobsters, I'm talking about when the mob was really a thing. From, it kind of fizzled out early 90s, but I'm talking early 90s back, right? If that's the case, then these females can come out and sue the mob because they were killing people in front of them. They were blowing up cars. They were trafficking everything. So if we're gonna, and this is why I said it's difficult when it comes to our community, because the Italians did it forever, the Irish did it, but it comes to black folk, and now it's, well, let's attack this people, let's do this way, let's go this way. I get it. Wrong is wrong. I absolutely am not justifying it, but I'm saying we keep tearing ourselves down from within, and men and DV and all these things, period. I don't promote. You're right. I think that women should absolutely be protected and valued. And all of that when it comes to what she's experienced. So yes, loss of innocence is sad, but in this country, the legal age to become an adult is 18 years old.
Yeah, but didn't she meet him when she was 17?
Did they do anything at 17?
Who's gonna know that?
That part. I mean, so
also,
we can only...
when you say the word "but," you cancel out everything you said beforehand. I'm just throwing that out there. But
I don't think you
it
can.
breaks you down psychologically, mentally, physically, on all levels. Studies have shown it takes approximately 7 times for an abused person to leave their abuser, because they are not in a space, financial,
right,
they're not in a space to even get on their feet. And then she gets on her feet. That don't mean, and she's finally gets away from him. That don't mean she's strong enough to tell. That might even mean she might need some convincing. She needs to build her confidence back up. She needs to know that he's not going to retaliate. She's how do I do this? And then when you want to hurt somebody like him,
pockets.
You got to hit him in the pockets.
Yeah.
You got to. That's the only thing, that's because he's emotionless.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
scary, yo.
It is. It is, because you never know. And I mean, it circles back to Diddy, Cassie too, because you don't know what she was willing to do to get that initial contract, and
especially when you're so far in, like say you are so far in, you're so close. Like you think, especially with her, she's with Puffy. He has hit.
Yeah.
He has made superstars.
Right.
So she's so close. She thinking like, if I just do one more freak off, maybe
he'll get me there. Maybe he'll do this. He promised me. And these empty promises, and kept her in this perpetual cycle of, he loves me. He's gonna do this. He says he set the studio session up, or he got this song coming in, or he got this producer to come in and do this. Yeah,
legit. He's holding. He was able to dangling it like a carrot in front of her face.
And you never know too. She could have recorded music, and he's holding it captive.
Yeah.
If she doesn't do a thing. Yeah. And I mean, it could have been with super producers. It could have been with people who aren't here anymore. You're talking Prince. You're talking Michael. He had these relationships.
He did.
So and we're talking early 2000s. Mike was still here. Prince was still here. So you have this time frame of a lot of artists that he could have brought into that studio. And there was laid something down.
Social media, and I don't know what her timeline was, but at certain points, no cell phones, so you couldn't reach people. Weren't accessible.
I think that we're talking.
Hers might be, but
we're talking 2000
people.
Are we talking 98 to 2000? That stretch right there.
I'd have to.
When did she jump off? I can't remember when Cassie really jumped off, because I can't remember if Puff was still with Kim at that time, or if Cassie came into the picture. Cassie came after J-Lo. Cassie came after
watching J-Lo. A video where and I'm not finished watching it, but allegedly Mary J. Blige was a Cassie before Cassie.
That's what I was saying though.
So
They
like,
used to ride around
he's been
doing
doing
that
this
stuff.
thing
He
for a long time.
Puffy. Now, listen, and it sucks because it does kill those people that we held in such esteem for so long. But I was watching something again on Russell Simmons on Rush. Yeah, I mean, like Russell Simmons was my guy. Like I used to love all things Def Jam, like all things Def Jam. Like that was especially, like I said, at the time of doing music and the way I was doing things, Def Jam was on the table. So
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, yo, Def Jam, fuck yeah, excuse my language, Def Jam. You know what I mean? I got excited for a second. I forgot what was that.
Okay.
But you know, the thing is it's like those opportunities coming, and you're like, yo, I want that. I want if I can walk in those doors, and then to see the grooming culture that even Russell Simmons had.
Yeah.
And it's like, not Russ, man. Like you, because I mean, if you've watched Crush Groove or you know the history of Def Jam, you know Russ used to do a lot of cocaine in the 80s.
Certain
You know what I
people
mean?
would be like,
A
nah.
lot of it. But I was watching, so I watched the shameless plug. I watch the Whatever podcast as well sometimes, right? And a lot of who they bring on are, you know, women who are in the industry, the adult industry. Some are in the regular industry and things like that. But this concept, there was a woman who called all men. They said all men are pedo, okay, because all men want are young women, things like that. So they were reducing men down to that. And someone made a point to say, you know, with schools anymore, because you talked about the power dynamic. And the issue is that in schools currently, or more recently, should I say, women have been essaying young men way more, boys way more. So these teachers, these mommy models, are now preying on a boy's need for nurture as well, and they're stealing those levels of innocence. So when you think about it, you know, we look at it on both ends. Men, when they become established and things like that, can prey on women of all ages, but women can destroy a man at adolescence. And then when you do that, you then still continue to blame him for his trauma into adulthood, and then his inability to adjust, he's still judged because he's a man. So the issue that we really do come into, and I'm a man, I don't give men a pass, but we have to look at it on both sides. We have to stop villainizing just men and say, well, men do this. There are so many powerful women in the industry or just in corporations and in the corporate world that have taken advantage of so many people, you know. So, and you don't, and you hate to say it, but sometimes women are worse. Women can be really wicked and demented in how they approach a situation. Men, a lot of times, they're callous, they're this, it's like a one shot. Women will take that manipulation sometimes to a whole new level.
Oh,
And it just,
if a
yeah,
woman want to get in there, it's calculated,
right.
planned out, and I think SA is still fairly new waters for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just and this is all like Me Too culture.
Yeah.
These things are fairly new in the sense of like people even want to talk about them, people addressing them,
Right.
people even feeling comfortable to even share things that has happened when they were a kid or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And also, in addition to that, trauma is still fairly new.
Yeah.
Like people don't, a whole lot of people are misinformed when it comes to trauma, what,
Absolutely.
like how you get through it, et cetera, et cetera. Because back in the day, they didn't deal with none of this type of stuff. They didn't even talk about
No,
this stuff.
no, it just happened and it went under the rug.
Our grandparents to this day won't mention stuff that has happened to them.
And I know a lot of family trauma that has happened, that has come out, that I was privy to, you're made privy to as an adult. And I'm like, what? And you ain't telling me when I was a kid, I bust, you know what I mean? And you go into that space. It's like, oh, you did what, the who, and where? Oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that's the thing. When we look at SA and trauma now, and again, it always sounds bad because I'm a man and I'm saying it because it's like, it's pushing back at feminism and things like that. But we've come into such a space where the concept of believe all women has actually been bad, because too much has come out that women have lied about. And it's like, well, you said believe them, and then you see it and it's like, well, she lied. So
I believe it until the proof is there. And if it's then at that point, in my opinion, it needs to be addressed and even consequenced when it is a lie. That's the problem that I have. If
well,
the person, especially it's about an SA type of situation, you lie on somebody about that, you need to be in jail.
Absolutely, because they were. You're
Mm-hmm.
lying. And again, we take it back to this is, I mean, it segues into a little bit of what I want to talk about anyway, but Emmett Till, right? The whole whistling thing, the white woman lied, he died, right? Now, fast forward, however many years, where we at, 60 years removed from it or whatever now, and you got Jonathan Majors. I mean, listen, yeah, I mean, you got the white elephant in the room, but the problem is that there's a video. There's a video that shows him trying to get away. The one thing that as men we're always told to do, right? If she hits you, walk away. If she hits you, get away. Don't do anything. Get away. You're a man. Don't hit her. Get away.
He was running fast.
So wait a minute. He did the thing, and this is crazy. He did the thing that not only men are told to do, but black men are told to do. If a woman hits you, get out the way. He did it and still caught a charge.
He caught a charge because he picked her up and stuffed her
back. He put her back in. But here's the thing.
So out of 4 charges, he got 2 of them.
2, but one wasn't even a crime. One's not even a crime. But they still put it up there and push it and promote it, but one's not even a crime. So now you're persecuting them in the court of public opinion, and one thing ain't even illegal.
I do think and have heard from several different sources that he is problematic. I don't know. I don't view him.
But does that, just because he's probably,
like I said, I don't know.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I can be a jerk all day. It's not illegal to be a jerk.
Oh no.
You don't have to listen. This is what I'm saying. You don't have to like him as a person, right? Wait, but here's the thing. If he didn't do anything illegal, I don't care what his character is like.
I don't believe they weren't. I don't believe they weren't both in an abusive relationship in that situation.
I think there were levels to
that relationship. Now that incident, camera shows something else.
Right. Overall, we're not in their bedroom, like you said.
No, we're not.
We're not there, and we're not privy to those smaller, intimate moments that didn't become sensationalized by this stuff. But all you can judge him on, and this is what the law is, all you can judge him on is what the evidence is for this situation. And honestly, for this situation, the man's not guilty of any of that. He can be guilty of being a jerk. He can be guilty of being too aggressive in certain aspects, but when it comes to this, he's not guilty. He's not.
The charges he got were what? Reckless.
Hold on, I can look it up. Give me 2 seconds.
I want to make sure we say exactly. He's not guilty of being a woman beater.
It was misdemeanor assault in the 3rd degree, recklessly causing physical injury and harassment in the 2nd degree.
3rd degree is you wasn't trying to, but you did.
Right. But you did. And the harassment isn't even a charge. It's just harassment. The misdemeanor assault and the reckless physical injury are the only 2 lawful things that he
what
can
was
actually.
The harassment thing though? What was that?
I think the harassment was trying to get the phone back.
Okay.
I think that the phone incident in itself was the harassment because it popped up, it caused emotional distress on her, and harassment.
I think she should be charged as well.
New York, listen, I think that he should sue the prosecution's office. I think honestly, it was a witch hunt. I mean, I don't care that the trial, but he can appeal it. It's a stupid appeal. It's like, it's a ticket. Honestly, what he got hit with in the 3rd degree is a ticket. It's a summon. It's a summary offense. It actually equates to nothing, truthfully.
He could spend up to a year in jail.
Well, for that one alone? I thought it had to be both.
I don't know. I don't know the ins
Okay.
and outs, honestly. But
Yeah,
that's
I'm not sure what it is either. But the thing is when you look at it, when you look at the charges and you look at the video, who was the aggressor?
oh, that situation, she was the aggressor.
So here's the thing. If I'm defending myself, I don't care if she's a woman. This is the problem. Stop giving women passes, right? The second because women want equality. So the second you get charged like anybody else, if I'm the aggressor and you defend me and you recklessly push me back and I get hurt, but I'm the aggressor, you should get charged the same way he did then.
I
There
think
should be no excuse to it then.
to add to what you're saying, men need to know when to leave relationships because men don't leave. Women get faulted for leaving, but men don't leave. When it's toxic, she keep fighting you, she keep hitting you, she keep arguing with you. When it is toxic, get up out of there. Get out of there.
I get it, but for men, it's this sense of duty sometimes. Even though it's toxic and horrible, because here's the thing you got to understand. We are just now as a species trying to get to this point of walk away, get away. Humans have existed for centuries now. This isn't new. We're in a space where people are trying to justify certain things, but also the food has messed us up. Everything on this planet is now corrupting our body. We're thrown, right? We're not who we used
this is a new thing. Leave is a new thing.
Yes.
You gotta get up out of it, especially when you got opportunities like Marvel.
Well,
those don't just come every day. You know they ain't playing around with their reputation.